What is ghosting, and is it contagious? What should you do if you're ghosted? And when is it actually okay to ghost somebody? Plus, I tell my worst ghosting story. Hello everybody, my name is Michael Noker, and welcome to the first episode of the Single AF podcast, where we talk about dating, relationships, being single, love, and all that other junk. To begin with, let's talk about what ghosting is and what ghosting is not. So, Urban Dictionary lists ghosting as being the act of very suddenly cutting off communication with somebody that you are dating but no longer want to date. Essentially, it means that you are going on, a first date, a second date with somebody. You don't really want to see them again, but you don't really know how to tell them that either, so you just kind of stop responding to text messages altogether. If you've ever been on a date with somebody and you try and make a follow-up plan and you never hear from them again and can only safely assume that they were hit by a bus, you've been ghosted. It's also one of the most common things to happen in 2016 dating, and it's possibly one of the worst things that you can do to somebody. The problem with it is that it pretty much leaves it entirely up to interpretation, and if you're an insecure person like me, for example, then you may find yourself sitting there and questioning, what did I do wrong? What was I missing? What did I say or what didn't I say? And you never really get an answer for that. Let's talk about what you should do if you are, in fact, ghosted. So, obviously, the best thing for you to do if you are ghosted by somebody is to just walk away. Keep your dignity intact. Don't keep trying to talk to them. Don't keep trying to reach out to them. Just leave while you still can. Take what you do have left and just kind of enjoy that and appreciate it. If they don't care enough about you as a person to at least tell you to your face, hey, I don't really think it's going to work out, they're probably not the kind of person that was worth your time anyways, so cut your losses and accept that you probably dodged a bullet. In other words, egging his house may not be the best idea that you've ever had. Now, I did go on Twitter and I asked you guys when it's actually okay to ghost somebody. At Planet Venus said, when they don't have enough contact info to track you down and you can ensure a clean-cut escape. This definitely sums up the spirit of ghosting, which is to essentially act like you've been hit by a bus, like you are completely dead to the world. If you do have them added on Facebook, you can continue to post social media updates, but if they send you a message, then you're not allowed to talk to them. And it's a weird limbo to leave someone in. I don't recommend that you do it. Have I done it before? Yes, I absolutely have. I do think that it's okay to ghost somebody if you are completely uncomfortable with them, or if they seem like the kind of person who's going to fight you on it. I will tell you the worst experience that I've had with ghosting somebody though, and that is in the middle of a conversation. I had hung out with a guy a couple times. It was obvious that it wasn't really going to be anything serious, and it wasn't going to really go anywhere. But I was enjoying my time with him. He was cute, so, it helped. At some point, we hadn't really seen each other in a couple weeks. I hadn't really heard from him. He ended up texting me out of nowhere to be like, hey, so why haven't I heard from you? And I'm like, well, you didn't really try and reach out to me either. It got weird from there, but he did ask me to come over, and I, being the bored and lonely person that I was on that particular day, I said yes. We went, we hung out for a while, it was fun. He's like, when do I get to see you again? I'm like, how about tomorrow? So we had plans to see each other the next day. Of course, this next day comes around, we're talking to each other. He's going to be hanging out with his family for a while, but he invites me to come along with him and meet his family, which is another story altogether. So I'm like, okay, great. I'm a social person. I love meeting new people. No problem. Yeah, I'll go and meet your entire family on our fourth date. Cool. Great. So I ask him, what are you guys doing? He's like, oh, we're just going to hang out. I'm like, do I need to eat first? And he's like, well, we're always eating pretty much. So just come over. It's great. And I'm like, okay, cool. Where should I meet you guys? And, should I meet you now or should I meet you later? He never responded to that text message. This was a month ago, and he still hasn't texted me since then. He hasn't called me. He'll like my statuses on Facebook, but he hasn't sent me any messages. I did follow up with him a couple days later just to be like, dude, you gotta explain this shit to me because I'm very confused. It's not the first time that he's done something weird like that, so I'm one of the people that kind of gets bothered by things like that happening regularly, and he never responded to that either. And I can't quite wrap my head around that. Not that I've tried very hard. or obsessively, or like sat down and like shown it to all of my friends and asked them for their input on it or anything. But seriously, what do you guys think? Because I'm just like completely confused by that. Alright, you guys, that is all for the first episode of the Single AF podcast. Make sure that you subscribe. There will be new episodes every single Monday. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming episode, make sure that you do get in touch with me. You can reach out to me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. Send me an email, leave a comment somewhere, send a smoke signal or a carrier pigeon with your message. I appreciate you guys very much for listening, and let me know, what is your opinion? Is it okay to ghost somebody? Tell me if you've ever been ghosted before and what your experience is with that. As always, I hope that you guys have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you all shortly.